Good afternoon, everyone. To my fellow friends and to Dr. Asmandi. My name is KIMTI. My Nobel metric number is AP220299. Today we will present about our title is about the online defamation, and our case is Defamation in the Digital Age, Navigating the Online Reputation Risk in Malaysia. So I will pass up to my friend to talk about the introduction of this about this group assignment.
Now I would like to give an introduction. The law will be divided into two great branches, which is criminal and civil. In a criminal case, there will be a prosecutor prosecuting a defendant. The outcome is that the defendant may be punished upon conviction, and the penalty will be different based on case, which is include fine, whipping, or imprisonment. And in the civil wrong, it involves the plaintiff sues the defendant, and if the plaintiff successfully proves his case, the court will give judgment for the plaintiff. And the source of Malaysia law basically can be categorized into written and unwritten law. Some examples of written law are federal and state constitution, regulation enacted by the parliament such as the Contract Act 1915, the Companies Act 1965, and so on. And subsidiary regulation made by a person or bodies, for instance, municipal law, or those regulations made by the minister. For unwritten law, it refers to those part of Malaysian law which is not written or enacted by the parliament or state assembly. And typically, unwritten law is found in the case decided, local custom, judicial decision, or the common law of English law and English law of equity. And the hierarchy of court in Malaysia can be divided into two categories, which are superior court and inferior court. The superior court, which are consist of federal court and the court of appeal. For the inferior court, it includes the high court, the session court, and the magistrate court.
Today, I will present about the legal issues on online defamations. So there's a definition about the defamation, that is, the deceptive and unprivileged statement of truth that damages someone's reputation. Regarding the meaning of online defamations, it's the same meaning but goes in online activities. So what caused about this online defamation? It caused by publishing misleading content in social media, and also writing a falsely negative review on the website, and uploading any images and audio file that contain defamatory content to the third parties. So there are many of the elements on the online defamation when some of the lawyers will know how the online defamation will be made. The first is the requirement of republication of information, meaning if there is any type of publicity they may printed in a magazine or could be found whether in the media, social, or any other platform to write something that is very harmful to the people. Second is the statement is identified in the individual accused. So it should be evident from the statement. It only applies to the plaintiff if they are the target of defamation. For example, if one person got being target of defamation from other people, so they should have a clearly understood to be a specific individuals, such as they can be identified by addressing directly by names, for instance, indirectly by roles within the organizations. The third one is the person's reputation suffered because of remarks. So a person's reputation must be adversely impacted by words and speeches, for it to be considered defamatory towards the public or other peoples with whom speakers interaction. And lastly will be the information that has been publicized is clearly false. In any type of any information must be both false and unverifiable, regardless of whether someone is spreading false information about someone else who is being negatively affected by it. This one is basically the most common case which everyone knows. We saw on the post about regarding the Israel and Palestine posting about the information about the Gaza and anything. This is very common of this case, whether the Israel's posting falsely information to the world that basically all the information are false, because usually problematic with the relationship with Israel and Palestine.
The liability of the online defamation, they have two types. One is criminal law, second is civil law. For the criminal law, we use section 499 and section 500 of the penalty. Someone who innocently damages someone else's reputation by spreading false information about them through what is considered to have defamed that person and may face legal consequences, and the maximum penalty for the defamation is 2 years in prison, a fine, or both. For the section 233 of the Communication and Multimedia Act 1998, someone who create any comment or other communication with its false intentions or offensive to annoy, abuse, or harass to others may also face legal consequences such as paying out fine up to 50,000, 1 year of prison, or both. For the civil law, the person who has been defamed that is plaintiff may request the defendant cease the defamatory remark and withdraw the statement, issue an apology, or provide compensatory damage to make out for any financial loss or reputational harm the plaintiff may have suffered because of the defamation.
So here are the examples of the cases of online defamation. So I would this one can search from the internet regarding from the cases about the 4 cases about the online defamation. Most of the cases they're regarding on the civil law, the criminal law, and also some of their most of the is the criminal law and civil law. There's 2 cases is civil law, 2 criminal, maybe it's criminal law. So I will pass up to my friend to talk about the recommendation of how to avoid and also stop the online defamation. Thank you.
In Malaysia, defamation may be each a civil and criminal offense. There are a few felony options to fight online defamation and defend the plaintiff's reputation. First, we can file a police report. Defamation is a crime under Section 499 of the Penal Code. Additionally, under Section 233 of the Communications and Multimedia Act 1998, people making indecent, fake, or offensive online comments will also be responsible. So if determined guilty, the person might also face fines or imprisonment. Furthermore, we could sue the person or business for defamation. If you believe you have enough evidence of being defamed, seek professional legal advice to determine the best source of action based on your evidence. To succeed in defamation suit, you must establish 3 requirements, which is the words are defamatory and have damaged your reputation, the words refer to you, and the words have been published to a third party. Moreover, the law considers the individual who disseminates or republish the defamatory comments to be just as guilty as the original speaker. Upon replication of the defamatory remarks on or posts, the individuals accountable for the republication of said content will have equal liability of defamation. The repetition rule refers to this. A new and distinct instance of defamation is created by every republication that uses the same defamatory language. For example, our former Foreign Minister Rais Yatim was successful in his defamation lawsuit in 2012 against someone who was accused of raping and killing a maid and have copied and post an article from a website into his own blog. The defendant was found to be responsible for defamation by the High Court, notwithstanding the fact that he was not the original author of the libelous article.
For the conclusion part, as discussed, online defamation in Malaysia is a prevalent and challenging issue with significant legal implications. The elements of a case that must be fulfilled to be successful in a defamation case include the online publication of defamation material, the proper identification of as cause individual damage to the targeted person's reputations. And the statement of fact in this regard. Civil and criminal liability for online defamation is imposed in Malaysia. In terms of liability, a person who is liable for online defamation risks criminal charges under Section 499 and 500 of the Penal Code. The provisions stipulate imprisonment and fine that may be imposed on the defendant. In addition, Section 233 of the Communication and Multimedia Act 1998 addresses offenders who publish false incidents or offensive convictions, generally threatening the fine and imprisonment. In view of civil law, online defamation is regarded as a civil law violation. In Malaysia, civil courts solve any online defamation grievance raised in court by the plaintiff in question. The remedies available to a successful plaintiff include a demand for obvious publication of and removal of defamatory content and the proportionate damage payment depending on the crime committed. The crimes are measured and awarded by factors such as the gravity of the defamation, publication rate, reputation of the claimant, and the extent of damage caused by the defamation. In conclusion, the illegal defamation provisions in Malaysia are solid and supportive in potential defamation content available online, and these provisions make the perpetrator aware of the behavioral consequence online to prevent them from engaging in defamation. That's all from me. Thank you.